Hey guys, Moldran here. Today I want to talk about the next few months in Diablo 3, what's waiting for us and so on. Now there have been a few developer blogs and interviews with the community where basically the Blizzard devs mentioned a few things. For example, the most important ones are they mentioned that there won't be any major announcements until BlizzCon, and there certainly won't be a patch until BlizzCon. So this means now if they announce things at BlizzCon and then it's probably going to take again 1 or 2 months for a patch, that there might even be no patch until the end of the year. Now is this a good or bad thing? First I need to analyze something. So this is the Xfire game activity tracker, which basically everyone that has Xfire installed is going to be listed here, and it's pretty good to compare different games at how they are doing at a certain amount of at a certain time. Now here you can see Diablo has recently been going down. Now if we extend that line to like where the patch was coming, it was like before the last patch in mid of May, you know, the mob density patch and a few other things, and also the anniversary buff, it was like here, and then when the patch came it went up to here, and then it steadily decreased until you can see here at the end. Now this has been going on for quite a while with Diablo, that every time a patch comes, people like play more, people come back to check out the game again, but then like 1 or 2 weeks later they quit again. And that was like the same with the Paragon patch, that was the same with the Uberboss patch, with the PvP patch or Brawling patch in January, and so on. So it's like always an up and down, up and down, up and down. But now Diablo 3, like after 1.5 years, actually reached an all-time low of only Xfire game rank 14, and so I think this is gonna continue to increase because with no patch coming out in the future, and the thing is, like everything's gonna change, and that's why I think it's a good thing, because Blizzard is finally after 1.5 years like touching all the problems at its core, which is like the entire game, like from the fundamental base that needs to be restructured, which means all itemization is going to be completely changed. Classes are going to be completely changed. For example, every class is going to have new builds. It's going to be really exciting to theory craft all of that again. They are reworking certain skills and a couple of other things, but the itemization thing, for example, means basically that most of the gear we are wearing right now is probably going to be useless at the end of the year then, or when the next patch hits. So this is something you have to consider. Like if you play the game now, you probably like can improve your gear a bit, but it's not going to matter because everything's going to be new then. And they even mentioned like ladder resets as a possibility. So if there's a ladder reset, why play the game until then and have or watch like everything of your gear becomes worthless. So those are my current thoughts. Like I think it's good that they are finally changing that, but yeah, there's less incentive or motivation for me to play the game right now because I know, okay, my stuff is most likely gonna be useless. Now Blizzard also mentioned, like right now it is like that. A normal character, let's say Paragon 50 plus, is gonna have like 1 or 2 pieces that he either found or crafted himself, and then is the rest, like other 12 pieces or whatever it is, are gonna be from the auction house. And Blizzard said in the future they want to get it to a point where 10 pieces you found yourself and only like 4 are going to be from the auction house. And that's also a massive change because that also means that like the self-found items are going to be much better in the future than they are now. And there's a higher chance to find an actual upgrade to your character. Now, those were like the positive things, why it's good that they're going to change everything now and do really take the time to make it the game really, really good. But what's the bad thing that I see with that, or in general, is if we go, for example, to Diablo is Xfire rank 14 now, and then you have Guild Wars 2 is Xfire rank 6 right now. Now Guild Wars 2 and Diablo, they have like always been on around the same level. Of course, when Diablo launched, it was much higher. When Guild Wars launched, it was also a bit higher. But like in the last few months or last half a year, Diablo and Guild Wars are usually around place 6 or 7 here. But as I showed before, Diablo had a massive drop, but Guild Wars 2 is like still doing well, and now it's actually at a point where it's almost twice the player base of Diablo if you measure it with Xfire. And that's pretty interesting. And the reason for this is now both games are pretty similar. Sure, some of you might say, okay, it's MMO versus action RPG, doesn't work. But if you compare the business models behind those games, both games were sold at a price of $50 or $60. And both games don't have a monthly subscription fee. So it's something different than, for example, WoW or EVE Online. And both games also have like some other things in the game, like Guild Wars 2 has the cash shop and Diablo 3 has the real merchant house to make additional money. And what's the reason, like why is Guild Wars 2 like still doing well and Diablo is like always getting drops? The difference is Guild Wars 2, like every month or every 2 months they bring a massive patch of content in the game. And that's where people come back, or like people that play Guild Wars and really like the game, they're gonna stick to it. Now I know the game in the beginning wasn't that great. For example, Kungen, Grip, me, we all quit the game because of how it was at release, but it has been improved a lot. And more importantly, it's always getting those new patches and this new content getting rolled out. Diablo 3 on the other hand, like the patches were minor compared to the Guild Wars 2 patches, and now we are at like multiple months without a patch, and it's going to be even more months if it's going to take until the end of the year until we finally get the next patch. And in my opinion, that's a pretty big difference. Now Guild Wars 2 didn't even sell as many copies as Diablo 3, so Diablo 3 in theory should actually have even more money to constantly update the game. And I think we are in year 2013, that even for an action RPG, it's time that a game constantly needs to be updated every 1 or 2 months. Imagine if Diablo 3 would every month get a new act or a new systems like an endless dungeon or maybe even a new class. Imagine how many people would then constantly be playing the game, and then there would be no reason for me, for example, to consider playing another game next week then. So let me know what you guys think about all of this. I'm also interested in knowing if you all are still, like there are currently like 10,000 active players here, if all of you are still like playing and sticking to Diablo 3 right now, or if some of you are already playing other games, and if you play other games, let me know quickly like what you play. So yeah, again, thanks for watching, I'll be back.